Hey guys, Clover here. Going to be doing a little bit of a review on cloud mining and wanted to kind of document some of the stuff that I've been doing with mining here. So I started with Genesis mining 10 months ago. That was my first experience with getting into mining. I was at the time, there wasn't a whole lot of people that were doing cryptocurrency videos that were kind of covering mining. I think the big one that really kind of got me into it a little bit was Trevon James. And if I'm gonna bring him up a little bit because like when a lot of his videos, kind of went back when he was starting doing videos, a lot of them were on mining. And so he's done away with a bunch of his videos recently, kind of with everything that's been going on. But you can see like a lot of his older videos. So this is his page. You can see that he hasn't done any recent videos, and he's also deleted a lot of his BitConnect stuff and some of the other videos he was doing. But back in his history, this was really kind of how he started. And he was a guy that I watched quite a bit. It was kind of interesting to see his progress, but a lot of the stuff that he was doing was on mining, Bitcoin mining, and that's kind of how he got started. And there was one on here. He has all these thumbnails, but there was he took a trip out to Genesis mining out in Iceland. I guess they had sponsored the trip and whatnot. And that was actually kind of an inspiration for me also to kind of like leave the country and start exploring a little bit with some of the different cryptocurrency companies. And so, I first started by going down to California and working with some of the people there. And then once I kind of had the opportunity to come to Asia, I decided to do that. So one of the things I don't know a whole lot about, I'm going to be looking a little bit into, is kind of the profitability of the different mining contracts. And that's one of the things that I want to look into. I put a bunch of articles in the description below. I was doing a little bit of research. There's a couple of websites here that kind of document a little bit of I guess the daily ROI. So we can see here, like this is one. It's CoinStaker, and so it gives you a little bit of information on terms of like at least with some of these different contracts, like how they've been paying out in terms of their the mining difficulty and the way that they're able to kind of sustain some of the some better rates in terms of their mining profitability. And this is another one I think that was kind of interesting. This probably has some of the most. A lot of them are ranking Genesis mining very high. Genesis mining has really been one of the biggest mining operations, most well known in the cloud mining world, and they've been around a really long time. I had been out of my account for a little while, and just got, I had got back in and was kind of confused by a couple of different things, and so I emailed support, and I was trying to basically find out kind of what's been going on with some of my payouts. I'm still kind of looking into it a little bit, but I mean, if you can see here, like they're getting back to people. They're kind of explaining here, like, so here they're apologizing for not getting back in a timely manner. They're kind of getting into they're having some technical glitches. They're saying with the payout engines, with Ethereum in particular. They reference this article, and so this is a little bit of a little bit more of an in-depth explanation as to what's going on with Ethereum payouts. For me personally, like with my account, like that was what I was mining. Pretty much most of the information that I had been presented with was explaining that Bitcoin mining is really not profitable at this point. If you're going to be wanting to get into cryptocurrency mining, you're going to be wanting to get into other smaller altcoins that have the potential that you could be mining them, and if you're just holding them as they rise in price, like Ethereum was over $1,300 just back in December. It's come down quite a bit since, but there's a couple of different ways to kind of look at mining, but it is probably one of these ways to kind of get into cryptocurrency to kind of have a little bit of a passive income. If you're getting into contract mining, where you're purchasing contracts, hash rates, hash power, and whatnot, this is a way to kind of get a sustainable amount of cryptocurrency coming in at a certain rate. So as I've mentioned, if you've been following my stream here, recently I'm networking with several Vietnamese mining companies. I don't know if necessarily Vietnam is, in terms of like power costs and you know, just the environment, like, you know, Iceland and some of these places in the north where they can kind of use the cooler air to kind of bring that in to lower because that's a big thing you're dealing with cryptocurrency mining, at least with the energy intensive ones like Bitcoin, is that they produce a lot of heat. And so one of the ways that some of these cloud mining operations have kind of combated that is by doing, you know, setting up operations in you know, very cold climates. I don't know how it's going to work here in Vietnam, but what has happened in Vietnam was a lot of the mining rigs, if you kind of want to look at some of the different operations that were in China, they all kind of came across the border into Vietnam. They kind of dispersed out when you were having some different things that were going on with, you know, kind of the regulatory environment there. So right now, if you're kind of looking for a, you know, a safer, you know, legit company, I think that, you know, like I started with Genesis Mining and I'm kind of really putting them at the top. You know, unfortunately right now, I think when we look at this, yeah, if you want to buy hash power is out of stock here with Genesis Mining. So, and you know, some of the things about their website, I feel like they could add a little bit more information, or maybe a little bit more data, because, you know, otherwise you're always kind of having to basically email support and ask them to answer kind of basic questions. Like I had some issues, like I was trying to figure out, you know, kind of what's going on with my account, because I had been getting payouts in my Coinbase account up until I think it was like September, October, and then it switched. And if I was looking on there, like the Ethereum and Bitcoin wallet addresses that it was paying out to changed. I don't remember changing those. And I just went through and I was checking all my different exchanges to see if I just had it paying out to an exchange, but I couldn't find it. So it's possible that I've been mining for like, you know, almost 6 months where like my payouts were going into the ether or something. So it is important to kind of, you know, check in on these from time to time. You know, it's been a little bit of a while for me, but I'm checking back into this. But I do want to get into finding a little bit more about some of the mining operations here in Asia. I think there's it's a much better environment in terms of, like, you know, regulations and whatnot, because what you had seen with just recently, just in the last month, for those of you guys that don't know, Genesis Mining was hit with a cease and desist order. And this was, I guess it was on March 12th, so this is about a month ago. It was the state of South Carolina. They are basically saying right here that that says that mining contracts sold to state residents are considered securities. And so there's this company, I don't know, this Swiss Gold Global, but they were acting as a broker dealer for Genesis that hadn't registered with the state to offer securities. So some of the regulatory agencies are going to look at some of these different contracts as securities, and they're gonna, you know, they're gonna want their cut in terms of, you know, taxes and regulations and whatnot. Let me check in the chat a little bit. Better to buy coins than Genesis Mining. I mean, pretty much what I've been doing is, you know, I've been doing diversification, trading, kind of getting into a lot of different projects. There's certainly a lot more opportunity for gains and whatnot in those markets. I think mining can be, or should be, like at least like 10% of a good, allocated cryptocurrency portfolio, it's a very kind of safe bet. It's you're continually having cryptocurrency that's being generated. So that's all kind of the way I've always looked at it, is it's kind of like a baseline for your cryptocurrency portfolio. However, there's a lot of like cloud mining scam companies. I haven't looked into a whole lot, but there were several that were a little bit shady when it came to some of those. So now there's 5 companies right now that I'm currently investigating here in Vietnam, and those are some of the things I'm going to be looking into is establishing legitimacy with some of these companies, so that I can get invested in it and recommend it to other people that are interested in following suit. I'm going to be meeting in 3 days with ieminer, which is completely Vietnamese. Like I went to their meeting a few days ago, or I guess, yeah, it was like last week. There was no one that could kind of conversationally like speak in English. Like it was all Vietnamese. And so I'm going to be looking to go this next time. I've got a buddy of mine that wants to go, and he can, he can speak English, and so I can kind of use him as a translator, and we can because he's interested in the company as well. He's kind of a trader here in Vietnam, and there's they're interested in there's people that are interested in buying contracts, getting into it. So I would say that it's something I'm interested in exploring. Which mining accepts credit card in Vietnam? I'll have to look into that. Like the 5 companies that I'm looking into, or in the description below. There's different ways, I guess, to buy mining contracts. For the most part, the way I understand it, most of them are taking Bitcoin, Ethereum, kind of larger, or major cryptocurrencies as payment. I believe Genesis Mining does credit card, like you can pay with a credit card. Looks like, yeah. And that may have been how I paid. You can see right here. Oh, my screen went. Oh, okay. Yeah, my screen went a little bizarre for a second there. But yeah, you can see credit card, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Dash, Litecoin, and Dogecoin. So we got a couple of different ways to pay for mining contracts, and then kind of establishing like, is it worth it? Because there was one that I was kind of looking at. I can't remember the name of it, but like they had invested. I think they only invested like $100, and over the course of like a year or something, I think they only made like $1. So I don't know how well some of the the contracts are paying out compared to other cloud mining operations, but that's one of the things I'm going to be looking into and investing in here, and kind of documenting and seeing how that goes. But that was pretty much it. I just kind of wanted to do a short little video covering some of the mining aspects. I found some interesting articles, and wanted to kind of look into this a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of companies here I don't know a whole lot about. I kind of recognize the name. Like, if we're looking at, like, this was an article. It's this net business. I don't know what's going on my screen. There it goes. My screen is bugging out. Sorry about that, guys. I got to look into why that is happening. Strange. This is the first time I've seen my computer bugging out like that. But yeah, there's several companies that I'm interested in kind of exploring and looking into. How do you feel about paying Pornhub with Verge? Yeah, there's a lot of people on YouTube talking about that right now. That was kind of the big Verge announcement. The thing about Pornhub is just the amount of traffic and volume that they're doing, like with their videos and whatnot. Like, I think some people are kind of like steering away because it's kind of a taboo website, because it is dealing with pornography. But it's the amount of volume they're doing is crazy. So I was actually surprised to see the price drop as much as it did, because you saw, I think Verge is down about 25% today with the announcement. You know, I think it'll be interesting to see how that plays over time. Pornhub is the #1 website in their demographic on the web. So having a cryptocurrency like Verge partner with them is an interesting, interesting partnership. However, there's been a lot of FUD or negative news. I mean, I don't know. I've looked into it a little bit, like Doug Polk has been on the record of being very against Verge, and I was watching some of his videos where he's basically just trashing him. Some of it, I think it, could be overlooked a little bit, but I mean, I'm still holding some Verge. I think I'm holding like 10,000 Verge, which isn't too much, but we'll take a, it's one of these things where it's like, there's a lot of people that are like keyboard warriors that like to get on there and kind of talk negatively about certain projects and platforms that may or may not really know a whole lot about, what they're talking about. But Verge has had some pretty serious negative press, like the fork that kind of accidentally happened. They're kind of the main guy behind Verge is like, a guy and like a, just a kind of everyday Joe, wearing a backwards baseball cap, kind of doing videos and whatnot. Like it's not the most professional look for a cryptocurrency. And it was forked off of Dogecoin. So Dogecoin is essentially a meme coin, and it's a little bit different in terms of its like reputation in the cryptocurrency market, I guess you can say. It's been around a long time though. So yeah, it's about all I'm gonna say on that. Look at Vitalik for dress code. Yeah, that's funny. That is like the cryptocurrency space right there. You just got some characters. You got some, so that's why I think it's interesting sometimes, like some of Doug Polk's videos can be entertaining, because he's basically kind of like this like aggressive poker player that kind of got into the cryptocurrency space. Didn't know a whole lot about it, but his videos have been getting better and better, and he's been doing some interesting videos where he's been bringing up a lot of interesting points, but a lot of it is kind of entertainment based, as opposed to some of the other crypto people that may be focusing more on like technical analysis. So you'll see guys that are doing, kind of doing stuff, similar to what I'm doing, just, kind of at their computer, kind of doing analysis of different projects and coins. Verge going to be accepted for lap dances. Socialwallet.io, they're suspending ICO on 4/20, resuming in May. Needed 35,000 wire tokens for masternode. Social Wallet's still one that, I know people have been bringing it up on my stream a couple of times. There's a couple of guys that I got, I respect their opinion, and they were telling me a little bit about it. So I wanted to kind of get into it a little bit more and learn about it. But I've just been so busy, kind of with stuff I've been doing. Like sometimes I don't have all the time in the world to kind of do the research. So one of the things I'm looking to do is get more involved with people that can help me out here in Vietnam with that aspect. But I'm going to keep this stream kind of short. If you guys, have any more questions, maybe take another question or two, and then get off the stream. And then I'm going to be spending all day today on my computer, kind of looking into some different things. So I'll probably have a good stream tomorrow. Just looking into different projects. I got all my exchanges up. I was kind of bringing up all the different exchanges to kind of search out, you know, kind of where some of my positions are and whatnot. So mainly I was trying to figure out like where my Genesis mining contract wallet was going to. Still haven't figured it out, so. Envion, still a good buy, so is TokenPay. The one thing that's about TokenPay is like, I feel like there's been a little bit of spam with that on my channel. Like I've noticed sometimes when I post videos, like I'll get a bunch of Russian spam, where I'll get a bunch of like random, you know, Russian comments and whatnot. And then other days, like I won't get it, like I won't get any. And then some days I get like dozens of them. So not all of them like get posted publicly. So they're just, you know, like, I guess they're you know, YouTube's picking them up as spam, but I don't know, like, it's just a different marketing tactics, you know, like some people are going out and paying YouTubers to promote, you know, their coins. Some people are like doing these spam things, and some people are partnering with, you know, other companies. You know, it's a wild, wild west of crypto. Have a closer look at EOS before June so that you get the forks. All right, sweet, I'll take a look. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna call it a stream. Appreciate you guys staying online. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys want me to kind of look into some different things. Other than that, like and subscribe, and I'll check you guys on the next one.